Hello and welcome to Millennial Media. On this show, we talk to St. Charles County High School students and their instructors about some of the things they're doing with media. Today, we have students from Timberland High School. So to start today's show, I have with me Jacob Windham and Lucas Sweeney. How are you guys doing today?
We are doing well.
Fantastic.
Great. So first of all, what grade are you all in?
We are both sophomores.
Sophomores. So this is your first year in the news class?
Yes. It's our first year in the broadcast media class.
Broadcast media. So how would you say so far your experience has been in the class? You've been in school for a couple months now. How have you liked it? How have you adjusted to it?
It's a pretty fun time, making videos at school. Don't ever get to do that.
Jacob, what do you think?
I feel the same way, except for the editing. It's not as fun.
You're not a big editing guy?
No. It's good when you finish, but...
The process is very tedious.
Yes.
Right. So you had your first newscast not too long ago, right?
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about it. Walk me through it. How nerve-wracking was it?
Well, it was a little time-consuming, a lot more than I thought it was going to be.
Yes. Could say I spent probably like a good 2 or 3 hours just doing like editing and just post-production type things.
All the post-production stuff. Well, I'm going to put your skills to the test because we have the first newscast, at least a snippet of it. So I want to take some time to take a look at it.
Oh, nice. Hello, Timberland students. Welcome to the first WHTV broadcast of the 2018-2019 school year.
And my tummy is rumbling for our first story.
Excuse me?
Well, our first story is about the new cafeteria menu with Lexi Jackson.
Hi, I'm Lexi Jackson, reporting from WHTV, and this week we are covering the new school lunches.
The Wentzville School District has finally decided to forfeit the National Lunch Plan and run its own food program within the district. Brady Snavely got a chance to interview the head of child nutrition for the Wentzville schools, finding out just exactly what was the reason for the lunch change.
The National Lunch Program was started back in the 40s as a way to increase the health of children. Their intentions were very good. However, I think they went too far, too fast, and the students didn't have time to adjust to it and get used to it. There again, parents don't necessarily cook like that at home.
I asked students how they felt about the new changes.
Okay, so what'd you think of it? Was all the post-production worth it? All your hard work, do you see how it translated?
Definitely, yes. Yes.
So when are you looking forward to doing the next episode, or the next broadcast, I should say?
All the time.
Yes.
But, I mean, they're bi-weekly, so...
Bi-weekly. So, okay. So you've got plenty lined up then. I know some schools like to do like once a month. When I was in high school, we did it daily, so it's interesting seeing how different people approach it. So you also, in addition to making videos, what other type of videos for news, obviously, what other type of videos do you guys get to make over at Timberland?
We have won the school film festival for the story category 2 years in a row, so
Wow.
Pretty neat.
Back to back.
Back to back.
Back to back. So what were some of the videos that you guys submitted for that then?
The first video that we had was it was called The Break-In. It had to do, we broke into our school and then just messed around like in the gym and roamed the halls and stuff.
Gotcha. So that was the first award?
Yes, and the second one is called Time Machine, where we go back in time to warn ourselves about dropping our pudding cups.
Yeah, because we trip over a log and
we drop them, and we decide that we need to travel back in time to tell ourselves not to trip and fall.
Watch out for the log,
To watch out, yes.
so you don't drop that pudding.
Yes.
So are we going for a three-peat here pretty soon? Are we?
Let's hope so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to keep an eye on that. Can I come? I'd like to be a part of this. You need to maybe keep me in a show. So, you also mentioned before we talked about musicals, some of the acting work that Jacob, you said you like to do. Tell me a little bit about it.
Some of the acting work, I don't know. It's in musicals. It's a lot different than you'd expect because it's like, oh, geez, I'm all happy all the time, unless it's like a sad moment.
Right.
But I don't know. It's just different than our film festivals or anything like that because obviously it's live and you have to be crazy, not
Right, but it's more,
Yeah.
more acting involved than the serious, well, not serious, but the more, I guess it's always more dramatic
Yes.
when you're doing musicals and things like that. So some of the other videos we talked about, the Don't Jewel video.
Oh.
Tell me about the Don't Jewel video.
The Don't Jewel video is a PSA that I made about not jeweling. Yeah.
Right.
And it's just a little rap music video with clever little rhymes in it, rhymes and rhythms.
So what gave you the inspiration for the Don't Jewel PSA? Was that an assignment you had to do and just jeweling was something that you felt like is a very serious problem?
Deep in my heart, it burns.
Jeweling gets under your skin,
Yeah,
you'd say.
I could safely say around half the students, I would guess, at school probably jewel. And we just feel that that should not be the way.
It should stop.
Yes.
I tell you what, I want to see these clever rhymes you have about not jeweling and see if I think it's pretty convincing. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Don't jewel, it's not cool. If you do at school, you're a fool. If you get caught, it's not a reward. This is the punishment for what you did before. Meeting with the principal, go to ISS. It gets taken away, don't worry about the rest. Why smoke something just because it's sweet? You know what else is sweet? An apple. Don't jewel, it's not cool. If you do at school, you're a fool. If you keep puffing, your life is on the clock. You get sick and then you'll need a doctor.
So Lucas, what are your thoughts on the Don't Jewel PSA? You think it's a pretty effective PSA?
Yeah, I think it was revolutionary in the Don't Jewel ad PSA experience. And a lot of schoolmates did in fact enjoy the Don't Jewel song.
Do you know anybody personally that jewels and has since stopped because of your influence?
I mean,
You've got to...
it's been like a week.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, we
So
gotta
you still
let
got
it-
time.
It's got to sink in.
You've got time. Okay.
It's gotta soak.
Right. So in the broadcast class, walk me through the day-to-day and the things you do in class. What is the start of the day? I know when I was in a similar class in high school, the start of the day was all the prep, getting everything together, typing some stuff up, and then it was a 2-period thing. The next period, boom, we're live over the announcement. So how does it work day-to-day for you guys?
We at night at our homes we write down some ideas of different stories, and then we come into school and we write them all down on the board, and then
Gotcha.
we choose who wants to do which story.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. And how long are the newscasts
They're
usually about? What do you aim for?
15 minutes.
Yeah, around
15 minutes or
around
so.
15 minutes.
Okay. So you guys getting pretty comfortable now? I know it's probably nerve-wracking to start, but now that you're a couple weeks in, you've got newscasts under your belt. You feel a little more comfortable about the class, the flow of it.
Yeah.
A lot more comfortable.
Yes.
So another thing that we talked about is the Man on the Street video. What's that all about?
It's about Gucci, which is, in my personal opinion, a revolutionary clothing article.
Okay.
And I was just wondering if the school shared my enthusiasm about it. So I went around and asked people if they thought Gucci was hot or not.
Hot or not?
Yes.
The Gucci edition.
The Gucci edition.
Right. I'd love to take a look at that and see how your classmates feel about Gucci, since you believe it's so revolutionary.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
I'm Lucas Sweeney, reporting this week's Man on the Street for WHTV, asking students if they think Gucci is hot or not. Gucci. Some would say it's a stylish trend, but others would have to disagree. I randomly selected some students and asked them if they thought Gucci was hot or not.
Hot.
I'd say it's hot if you have enough money for it.
I definitely would say, from my personal opinion, that Gucci is hot.
I'd say it's pretty up on the hot scale.
I'd say not.
Hot.
Not.
Hot.
Not.
I would say not.
Oh, it's real hot.
Hot. Hot.
Not.
I'm gonna give it a smoldering. Yeah.
Hot. Hot.
Hot. Not. Hot.
Definitely hot.
I think it's hot.
I realized that 22 people really wasn't enough to show the entire school's opinion, so I created a poll asking people what they thought. Out of the 181 people who voted, 42.5% of people said Gucci was hot. The answer is clear. Timberland truly is all for Gucci. Reporting for WHTV, back to the studio.
Okay. Gucci Hot or Not edition.
Yes.
Brought to you by Lucas Sweeney. That's beautiful stuff. Jacob, what are your thoughts?
You know, I don't know if it could be produced, directed, and shot more perfectly.
That's high praise from a classmate.
Yeah. I thank you.
You're welcome.
And you guys actually work together on a lot of things, right? You guys are, from what I hear, a dynamic duo, so to speak.
Yes. Very much.
And so how long have you two known each other?
We have known each other since the 5th grade.
5th grade. And you've just been together every step of the way, making funny little things together?
Yes.
Yeah.
Including the 5th grade talent show.
Oh yeah.
It goes back that far.
Don't forget the talent show.
You can't.
What did you all do at the 5th grade talent show?
We put on, it was like a magic act, but it was supposed to be bad on purpose. So it was like horrible.
I think you should consider that for your next video there at Timberland. You can see the advancement that you've made through your career. All right, so when we come back, we will have Brady as well as Miss Hoffmann. They can tell us a little bit more about the broadcast class and some of the things we have to look forward to.
I'm Rudy Tempesta. I'm 92 years old. I fought in World War II. Then I came home, worked for the post office for 70 years. I've been getting Meals on Wheels, and I enjoy it. The most important thing about Meals on Wheels is you meet the people, which to me is fantastic. You need people to keep your brain moving. That's what life is about. It's love and having a conversation with people.
Welcome back to Millennial Media. Joining me now are Brady Snavely and his teacher, Ida Hoffmann. How are you guys doing?
Good. Well, thank you.
Great. So, Brady, I want to start with you, the student. What grade are you in right now?
I'm currently a senior at Timberland.
So you're halfway through the last leg of high school.
Getting there.
All right. So what are some of the things you're doing there at Timberland?
Well, obviously I'm part of the broadcast program. Other than that, I mean, I've dabbled in theater. I did a little bit of baseball my freshman year. Well, that's about it.
All right. And this is your second year in the broadcast class.
Yes, second year.
The second year of the broadcast class.
Yep, I've been around since it was new last year. So
it was a fresh concept.
Yep.
So, Ms. Hoffmann, tell me about you being there. This is now the second year of that class. Tell me about some of the changes there and some of the challenges of getting it to this point it's at now.
So being able to finally start a broadcast program was just such an amazing thing. It's my 9th year teaching, and I've been working since my first year to get it built into place. We worked with the district and got the ability to have 2 teachers for the broadcast program, one that ran the technical side, Kelly Tressel, and then me working with the journalism side. And so being able to watch students go from having absolutely no conceptual idea of what a broadcast program looked like to running 2 newscasts a month that are shown throughout the school is just so amazing. Watching them grow, watching them bloom, watching them build their skills is just what teachers live for.
Right.
And so it's been amazing. It's been a fun journey. Can't wait to see where it goes.
And Brady, speaking of growth and development, what have you seen as far as your personal experience that you've been able to now grow and adapt to being in this class for a second year?
Well, as she said, I mean, I came in last year having no idea what it meant to make a broadcast. I knew it's what I want to do for a living, but I didn't really know how, what went into it. So, last year we started out on a little bit, easier things. We used WeVideo for our editing software,
Right.
and then, throughout the year learned how to move into, Adobe Premiere, a little bit harder editing software to use. So, then you have people who, we were all new last year, so none of us really knew how to run a camera properly or, mic someone up.
Right.
So this year, it's fun to have the knowledge of how to do that, but at the same time, it's also fun to see the new students of this year, learn and grow as well, because that means that we can help them, and I enjoy seeing them start out just as we did, because I know that we have a better idea of how to what we're supposed to do, so
Right.
it makes it a lot easier to help them.
Right. And just to expand on that, I imagine then that you're kind of looked at as a leader in that class, because this is your second year in it. And like you said, you know the ropes a little bit more, and some of these kids are just like you were last year, like, what's this? So how does that feel to kind of be able to help in that way, like, oh, I can show them because I know what I'm doing now?
Well, I mean, I try to help where I can, where I can. There's definitely some things I still don't know how to do. There's definitely some times where I have to call over, either Miss Hoffmann or Miss Trussell and ask them to help, or one of my, friends who's returning from last year to help. But it's nice to be able to, whereas last year, if I had a question about something, I had to ask, Miss Hoffmann or Miss Trussell. I had no idea how to do it. Now, if someone has a question, it's nice to be able to step in and, then be able to realize that while we do have 2 advisors for this class, this is also a fun, student-led class where we can kind of, be out on our own a little bit and not have to, rely on teachers to ask them every kind of question. So it's fun to be able to, have the confidence and then give the students the confidence that, we're going to learn together, and it's going to be, one just giant family of what we call our broadcast program.
Right. Mrs. Hoffmann, from the teacher perspective, how does it feel to be able to kind of sit back and know that you've got students that they can step in and some of these little questions they can handle without having to always be hands-on watching over everything, and you kind of get to sit back a little bit and have some people help fill in some of those spots?
Yeah, that's, the beauty of building a program year to year to year is getting to see your students grow and take those leadership roles. It's a great feeling to be able to say, hey, have you asked your peers yet?
Right.
And then know that there are students in your class who are truly competent enough and truly strong enough in their learning that they will be willing to walk over and help other students and to really just help them bloom and grow.
Right.
So it's great.
And I talked a little bit to your classmates about some videos they've made. So you've made some community spotlight videos.
Yeah.
Tell me about some of those.
Well, Community Spotlight was the first time last year where I felt like broadcast was more than just school news. We were handed a permission slip, asked, explain what it was, asked if you wanted to go, fill out the permission slip. So, we were told we had to dress nice, and that it was going to be a professional thing because we were going to do spotlights on different restaurants and businesses on Wentzville Main Street, over where our school is located, close to where our school is located. And it was just, a really fun experience to be able to get off the bus and walk into a business, and me being a junior in high school, kind of being able to be in charge of, because I did a lot of the question asking of the people who I was interviewing. So being able to kind of be in charge and seeing this team of students walking around, filming stuff, feeling comfortable, it was a whole completely different experience than just sitting, in a class and editing some stuff together, or being out in the hallway recording something. You felt like you were actually, out in the real world doing what news and broadcasters actually do.
Exactly. So I want to take a quick second to take a look at one of the videos. Let's check it out.
Started out in the summer of 2012 doing a tent at the farmers market in Lake St. Louis at the Meadows. We got the food truck on the road in 2013, continuing to kind of build a brand and a name and what we've done. We operated out of St. Charles County. At the time, there was only 16 food trucks in St. Louis. That's the space as a restaurant, which is kind of cool because it's a 1950s filling station. It has a lot of history. So it really opened us up to being able to be, kind of a cool niche space here in downtown Wentzville. First, you want to support small businesses, support downtown. Those two things are two of the biggest reasons. Our country is kind of built on small businesses and supporting small business.
Okay, so that was for Yo Salsa. Tell me about that experience a little bit.
So we got together with the Wentzville Main Street Association because we wanted to give the students an experience outside of the classroom, because it's great to have them interviewing other students, but to actually get them to interact with people in the community was really our goal. And so we worked with Yo Salsa for a lot of reasons, but one of the main ones was that the owner's children had gone to Timberland. They were familiar with Timberland. They support Timberland. One of their kiddos had been in the newspaper program, so we knew them, and they were incredibly welcoming, and they were the first community spotlight we shot. So again, it was a learning process, and they were just incredibly gracious and just so nice to work with. Let us just take over their business while customers were there for a couple of hours during a lunch rush, and that was really just a spectacular opportunity for our kids.
And that wasn't the only restaurant you worked with. You also worked with a smokehouse. So what was it like being able to be there for you, Brady? You mentioned it's fun to get out and do something different, but did you ever imagine that it would be like that whenever you did it?
I mean, not exactly. I heard we had a broadcast program, and I signed up and had no idea what to expect. So for the first couple of weeks, it was just repetitive, school news, which is fine. It's the what we're there to do. But as soon as we got offered that opportunity to community spotlight, it was just completely just astonishing to me, because it's, like I said, it feels a lot more real. So in order, for us to go to Yo Salsa, do that piece there, and then within walking distance, be able to walk up to Old Town Smokehouse on the main street of Wentzville, and as Ms. Hoffmann said, take over their business, and they were so friendly to us. We sat down, we ate lunch there, we interviewed customers, and it's just a great experience to see how we can put this piece together for a company, because you show them the piece after it's done, and you're hoping that you're going to get a good response to it. And luckily, we have so far. We haven't had anyone who's been, oh, I didn't want that in there, I didn't want that in there. So in order to have a product that people enjoy and that's not just a school news program is just a really heartwarming feeling.
Right. Well, let's take a quick look at the Old Town Smokehouse one as well.
Just a great place to eat. I highly recommend it. Yeah, we just decided one day we were going to do it. We drove by one night at 10 o'clock and said, place for rent, why don't we put in a barbecue joint?
My stepdad and my uncle, they've always done kind of like the smoking meats on the side, and my mom's a really, really good cook. So they decided that they really just wanted to open up a restaurant and do our family recipes.
Our preparation on the care and the love that we put into what we do and how we prep it, I think has a lot to do. It's just not thrown together and put on the smoker. We actually take the time to put our own signature series on what we cook.
So I think it's pretty cool being able to get out and do things like that. Doing the broadcast classes here at Lindenwood, going out in the field, and sometimes you get to shoot packages on restaurants, and they're like more than willing to let you shoot, and sometimes they even feed you for doing them. So it's really fun doing that type of work with broadcast. So I also want to know from you, Brady, what kind of things are you hoping to do moving forward? Because this is your last year, so of course there's got to be some things you'd like to get done before you get out of the door.
Well, before I get out of the door, I'd like to do, more community spotlights and stuff. I'd like to show the new students what exactly it's all about, because we have a lot of new students who still don't know exactly, what's going on and what they have to look forward to, because we're only a couple weeks into this. So,
right.
A lot of them just see the repetitive, editing, shooting, stuff like that. So it'd be fun to show them what exactly they join the program for and what there is to look forward to. As well as, I want to get a couple more stories under my belt and try to build my portfolio a little bit. So.
Right. And quickly, Ms. Hoffmann, as we only have a couple of minutes left, what are some of the things that you're hoping to do and continue to grow with this class?
I hope to see my students grow in their interview and communication skills. That's a big one. And I hope that they learn more about their school and community through that process.
That's great. Well, Brady, Ms. Hoffmann, I appreciate you guys stopping by today, and it was great talking to you.
Thanks for having
us.
Thank you.
Right. So that is all for today's episode of Millennial Media. If you'd like to check out more of the things they're doing over at Timberland High School, you can find them on the web at wolfshowl.com. Again, I'm your host, Romero Starks. Thank you for joining us.